Alright, welcome to my video. My name is Eckogen. In this video, we'll go over the mechanics for the first boss in Hollow's Heart, Brierbane. His phases in normal mode happen at 70 and 40, and then in hard mode they happen at 90, 60, and 30%. Now, outside of his phases, there isn't really anything notable that he does except for one ability. Now, this one ability is not shown in this video here due to our high DPS. If your DPS for your party is relatively low, he's going to do this ability called Dark Decapitation. So that happens outside of the phases, okay? So that happens after he does 3 attack rotations. So after those 3 attack rotations, he's going to roar, and he's going to generate a dark AoE underneath of him. So he'll probably be in like the center of the room when he does that. So there'll be AoE in the center of the room, and as long as he stands on that AoE, he cannot be CC'd. And if any players touch it, they will be rooted. So you have to SS or dash away to break out of that root. Next, he's going to jump to the furthest person, and then he's going to create another AoE at that spot that he lands at. So now there'll be 2 AoEs, one in the center room, and then one at the spot that he landed at. Now he's going to try to charge back towards that first initial AoE in the center of the room. Now what you have to do is make sure that you block him. Anyone can block him, but usually it's a tank. And then when you do block him, make sure you do not block him on top of any of those dark AoEs, because right after the charge, regardless if you blocked him or not, he's going to do a follow-up AoE. Now this AoE, his CC bar will be open as long as he's not standing in those 2 dark AoEs that he casted earlier. So if you fail to CC that, in hard mode, it's an instant wipe, but in normal mode, you can party iframe through it. Alright, so when it gets to his health threshold, so in hard mode, it's 90, 60, and 30, he's going to jump up into the air, and as soon as he lands, it's going to create a shockwave. So when he jumps, you should jump with him. Do not wait until he's about to land and then jump, just like I did here, because the shockwave is, I believe it's desynced, because it still hits you. And then you can see this message here where it says Brierbane is picking an execution target. So he's going to mark the 4 furthest players, and so that preferably it should be ranged that does this. And you can tell who got marked because they'll have that like purple icon you see right there over their heads. And now he's going to follow up with a room-wide 5-hit AoE. You can jump over this if you time it properly, or party iframe it. Alright, so after that 5-hit AoE, you're going to see this message here where it says Brierbane prepares to decapitate the execution target. So he's going to fire this death zone once at each of the markers. And the order is based on farthest to closest. So we pretty much assigned each person a certain distance to stand at. So we had someone at 16 meters, 14, 12 meters, and 10 meters. So each of the markers need to align themselves with those shells that you see on the floor there. That way you can make the death zone more organized, so to say. So for the death zone itself, just when he's about to cast it, the marker needs to get close to the boss. That way they're able to dash out of that zone. Because if you're, let's say, at the very far back of the room there, you have a much bigger area you need to cross to get out of it in time. In normal mode, it's not a big deal because you can iframe it and survive it. But in hard mode, you cannot iframe it. Even if you iframe it, it'll still instantly kill you. And then there's the 4th one right there. Right after that, you can see him do this animation right here. So his CC bar will be opened. You must CC him, stun, KD, whatever works. If you fail to do it on hard mode, it will kill you. If you fail in normal mode, you can just iframe through it. And then right here, the boss is going to finish off the phase with a 4-hit AoE, and then preferably you should sheath that. And then now he's going to do his normal attack rotations until you get him to his next phase, which is at 60% in hard mode. So remember that when he starts the phase, he's going to jump up, and as soon as he lands, he's going to create a shockwave. So jump with him when you see that, otherwise it'd be too late. And now he's going to mark the 4 people who are furthest. And the markers should already align themselves with the shells. And then here is the 5-hit AoE shockwave right here. Remember that you can jump over this if you time it correctly. And now remember that he does his shockwave attack to each of the marked players, and it's based on farthest to closest. Remember that in hard mode that you cannot iframe it. In normal mode you can. And then he's going to be CCable, so make sure you CC him because he's going to do this AoE right here if you do not stop him. If he completes it in hard mode, it will kill you. In normal mode, you can iframe it. And then he's going to finish off with a 4-hit AoE attack, and that ends his phase. And then just sheath for that. And then that ends the phase. And now he's just going to do normal attack rotations until you push him to the next health. So in normal mode, it's at 70 and 40. In hard mode, it's at 90, 60, 30. Alright, so he's at 30%. So remember that he's going to jump. As soon as he lands, he's going to create a shockwave. Then he's going to mark 4 furthest people. And then he's going to follow up with another room-wide 5 AoE shockwave. You can jump over this. And then here comes the decapitation. So remember the hit order is based on furthest to closest. And then you have to CC him. And then lastly, he's going to finish the phase off with a 4-hit AoE attack. So you would want to sheath that. And then from there, you pretty much just brush him down to 0 because that's his last phase in hard mode. So in hard mode, he does 3 phases. In normal mode, he does only 2 phases. So there we go. That is the mechanics for the first boss in Hollow's Heart, Brierbane. I will include the mechanics summary in a video description below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will answer them. Thanks for watching. Hope that helped.